Hi and welcome back to my channel. Our last video I made this rose journal cover, and today I'm going to put some signatures together. But before I start, I just want to read out a list of people that sent me condolences when Mum passed away. I know I haven't answered any of those messages. And like I said in a past video, when I answer them, it just sort of cements it all. But I just want to say that I read them all, and I really appreciated each one of them. It just really helped me, and even some of you have private emailed me since then to check up to see if I'm okay, and I really appreciate that. So I want to thank Nat Williams, Susan Randall, Natalie T, these are the channel names, Janzati Inclinations, Ricky TH, Crafty Dork, Christina's Shack, Denise Ellis, Ruth Burr, Scrapinology, Susan Johnson, Witchcraft Do You Do, Marlene, is it Mingle, Crafty Karen, Minnie Lewis, Papercraft with K, Nightingale 0515, Jivagees 5, Norma, Arain, I can't say your last name, sorry, Arisaba, sorry Norma, but I so appreciate you, and Margareta German. So I just wanted to shout out to you lovely ladies who sent me those condolence messages. And yeah, it's getting easier. I have to sort of stop myself sometimes from sort of falling back down into that pit. But I thought, look, I'll get a journal going and give myself something to do when I'm not around looking after Asher. So this was the cover that we finished. I really loved how that just the distressing came out on the front of that with the sanding, and you can see those cross hatches there because the ink sort of soaked into all the little scratches, which I really like. So yeah, so today what I want to do, I'll just put that up, is it's come out, it's had a whole 24 hours nearly to dry, and it's still flexible, the book. Like I said, it's a soft cover, but it's nice and stiff, and everything's stuck really well. So isn't that beautiful? That's all hand embroidery in there. Absolutely beautiful. I did digitalize it, put it on a digital and printed it out. And I also had a go at printing out on a lunch bag. So that came out nice too. So I'll just show you the pages I've got together, and I'll actually show you the books that they came out of, in case you are interested in those books. So I'm going to show you some of the pages I've got together for this make, and the books that they came out of. So these pages here, I'll show you what they look like. They're fairly plain, but they've got like rose planting information on them. So that came out of the back of this book, and I used, when I pull the pages out of books, I don't just, some of them I tear because they, you can see they're glued in. I'll just show you what I do. Others aren't they beautiful, these plates? I didn't get any of these plates out for this make. I'll just show you what I do. Okay, so you can see the thread here in the book. I'll take this just there. And so what I do, I've got this, it's a quick unpick, but it's a I don't know what you call it. I'll just put my thread under there and cut it, because I don't want to damage those really nice book plate pages. Oops, which I just did. Some of the string can be tucked down pretty tight. And there's always two strings, so make sure you get both of them. And then you can just pull it up. And hopefully it's not glued, because some of them are glued as well. See, I've just pulled that up and the strings are there, and that's just pulled that out. I mean, you still got the holes of the original strings, but you know, you can put that then in a signature without having to cut your page down. So you can usually get two or three out like that before it is glued again. See, that one's glued. So you can usually, how many did I get out? 3. So you can usually get at least 3 double pages out without tearing them. So I'll put them in as some pages, some blank pages. So that was that book, if anyone's interested in looking it up. And the next book I took pages out of, and they're beautiful. It was a long book, and I did the same here. I took 2 of the longer pages out, and these 2 were glued. But that was this book. If you want to look it up, or you know, when you're on your hunt, you know, looking for things. So that's got some gorgeous, it's got an illustration and a photograph of the roses in there. So that was that book. My next book was, where'd he go? Hang on. Oh, this book here, sorry. This page here came out of this book, Ornamental Shrubs. I've used this book in past videos. Great illustrations. I've got a couple of these books. So this is the one I'm been tearing up. So that one came out of there, and it was a full double page too, where I cut the string. So I can use that. And my last book is this one, Roses in Australia, and it had beautiful, it's fairly shiny, the pages, but that doesn't bother me. Beautiful vintage not illustrations, photography in here. So I loved it how some of them were photography, colour photography, and then on the backs there was black and white as well. So that's that book, if anyone's interested in that one. Looking for them. So, and these are the pages I took out from this book, and I just tore them out. It didn't bother me to tear these ones out, because some of them I like rough edges. I might even trim those edges yet. Alright, and then on the backs of these, when I have them in pages, I usually put pockets or decorate the sides I don't like. So they were the book pages that I've fleeced from those, how many? 1, 2, and 4 books. Now there's also another book I'm probably going to get things out of. So if you're in Spotlight, have a look for this little tool. It's I found it so handy because it's really robust. It is a quick unpick, but it's a more heavy duty one, so it's excellent for that sort of thing. Alright, the other one book that I'm going to probably get some things out of this is this Rose Expert book. And it's just a gardening book, a rose gardening book. And, you know, there's little things like that. You know, I might just, little rose pictures, just small pictures in this one that I might just get bits and pieces of ephemera out of as I go along. So I'll just leave this one on the desk, and when I'm up to that part of it, and get little pictures out of there. So there's some little illustrations and photographs. '92 was not that vintage, but it does have, you know, these vintage type illustrations which are pretty nice. Anyway, that will come in handy. I even like the front cover on that. Oh, there's different books in it. Okay, so that's a look at some books. If you're out on the hunt looking for things for your collection, your junk journal collection, these ones I've gathered up over the time. So I'll take some pages out of this book too, the one I found in my last Thrifty Thursday. These are huge big pages, so I was thinking of making maybe some envelopes or something like that with that. But anyway, that will come. Alright, my next lot of pages that I have sourced for this came from this 12x12 paper pack, and I got this from Spotlight here in Australia for all you Australian crafters, and it's called Pretty Petals. And it was I think I've actually got two. I went back and got another one because they were on special, nearly half price. So, and these are absolutely stunning pages. They've all got a vintage vibe about them, and I absolutely love them. So I chose, I think 6 I chose out of here. And there's 2 of each pattern in here. So if you're out and about looking, that is a great find. And it's because it's the crafter's choice, it's in the budget range too. Don't quote me, I can't remember how much it was, but it was, I don't think I would have paid more than 15 for it. And then I got it on special, so it would have been less. So these are the ones I chose for this make. So that's the 12x12 paper. Now the rest of what I'm showing you is either thrifted or from what do you call it, stationery books. So this here is draw liner paper, and I found a big roll of it, so I'll cut that up. And this is the same draw liner paper, and they still smell nice. They've still got a nice smell, so I'll cut them up as well. My other papers, I'll show you the other stuff I've got here. Now when I do a journal, it's roughly A4 size that I usually do it in, because a lot of the pages that I have, or the books that I have, they'll cut down nicely to this size, or the exercise books that I have, you know, with the writing lines on them, are all A4 too. So I usually make up a guide. That's my printed one, but I usually make up just a guide so that when I start to cut, I can measure it all off that. So that was my printed one. I got a start section out of a piano roll, so I'll do something with that. I also printed on a lunch bag, and it's the same print as this. I've got more digital prints, but they were all on my old computer, and I've got someone working on getting all that information off my old computer. So I've got a couple of tracing paper pages and writing paper. This was just vintage writing paper that, you know, when you go to the checkout, people look at you like, "Ooh, you want to take that home?" And you're like, "Hells yeah." So there's some more. Oh, that's ledger paper, and that's grid paper. A really fine like lined paper. It's got like dotted lines and solid lines. Here is some writing paper, like letter writing paper. This has all been thrifted, all of this pile, and plus the books as well. So this is wrapping paper, some vintage wrapping paper. This was writing paper as well, letter paper. I found a couple of cards in my stash. Some more writing paper. I've got a couple of the doilies, the paper doilies. These one I found in a cheap shop, and they had 50% off everything. So, and they were a nice cream colour when you compared it to the other doilies. I also have a couple of other little doilies as well. Here I might put throughout. This paper I got from Kazier Craft. They have a new Kazier Craft shop here in the local area, and I got a pack of paper bags that were printed, and these are my coffee stain papers. This one's got roses on it. They've all got roses on it, so I'll use some of them in this make. And then I want to use this doily in this make, and this was the book that I gutted from the front. That's the little address book, and these are the pictures that I got out of it, all the little rose pictures. So I'll make some of them into journal cards, and this is a doily, a napkin. I'll do something with that in there too. So that's the supplies I've got out for it. We'll see how it all comes together. So my process now is to just fold everything. See, these are all A4, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold all that. Okay, so I've cut all the stationery type pages down to an A4 size. This one here, I've folded it that way so that it'll be a bit thinner, but that won't matter. Now when I cut off any stationery paper, don't throw it out, because you can either turn it into a little book, or I usually cut it, I leave it how it's cut, but I usually just staple it up. Staple it. And attach it to, you can make a little book out of it, you know, attach a cover to it, or make a little writing pad or anything like that. So I've got I usually when I cut up papers like these, I'll just do that to it and then put it in my stash, and then when I'm looking for a little book pages or whatever, I pull this out and they're already made. So that's a little tip there, not to throw out those scraps. So those papers are ready. I folded and cut the that one and the piano roll. I also folded some of the other writing paper. This was a cut off from the other writing paper, and I think I'll add it in there. So that's ready to go. I folded this paper bag, and and fold up another one. Let's cut off that edge. And then we can, might put it in both of them this time. Cut that one off both. I mean, you can just do one or you can do both. But it just lets you know there's a pocket there. So I'm going to have 2 signatures in this. So they're the bags done. Might have 2 of them in there, so I'll just roughly trim that down. And you know, these don't have to be, you can even, let's tear these ones. Keep all those scraps. I'll go in the scrap packet. Alright, so I won't tear that one down because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet. I think it'll be a part of decorating. So I'll put that over there with the bags. Hold these up. I put some of these similar ones in my last journal. I really liked them, so I'll put a couple more in this one. So they just get folded straight up, no cutting for that. Now these other bits and pieces, I'm not sure. The writing paper, what do I do with that? Let's put one of each in. That in one signature and this in another. And then I might leave the other 2 pages just like that, and they can be folded up as writing paper as such. So here's another, and these cards, they can be done the same. What's on this page? These ones here, I might put them as, I might leave them to, now I've got these 2. These are the draw liners. So that made 4 nice pages like that. Alright, now we'll go on to the scrapbook pages. Alright, now I wanted to make sure these get folded so that fold them in half. Yeah, they're going to be right. So fold all them in half. And then now they'll have to have just the tops taken off. But what we can do, instead of cutting all the tops off, what I've done in the past is fold them up and make them into a pocket. So you can fold them up like that. That's just my guide. And then Open it out. You fold it up like that. That makes great pages like that. So you can do that with them. Or you can cut them off. No, I won't have pockets on every one of them. Maybe let's turn this one into a pocket. It doesn't have to fold up this high either. You can just have a short pocket, but depending on your book as well. But you could cut some of this off if you only want a short pocket. But this is a good way to not cut anything off and utilize what you've got. So we've got two pockets because we've got two signatures, and then the others I think I'll trim and use as other things around in the journal. So let's measure some. And so you could use this then as, and get your writing paper and make a little book like that. Just fold these under and you can have a little book. So let's do that. Fold that in. And then put your little book in there. Like that. And then you've got a little book. Just glue them down. There's a little pocket in there on either end. And you've got some writing paper. So you've got your little book then. So that could slip in there somewhere. So that's another idea, you know, when you're trimming down scrapbook pages to fit. Just remember, but they all add bulk to your book when you start putting things in like that. That's why I'm only doing 2 signatures in this one, because I tend to get a bit heavy-handed on the filling up bit of it. Right, so we've got those scraps that we can use for pockets somewhere else. And all these ones done. So two with pockets, and the other 4 have got and you cut them down a little bit more. The other 4 are just plain. Alright, so we'll put that over there. So that's done. Now we've got to figure out the, well, that page fits perfect, so we don't have to cut anything off that one. These ones will need cutting. Alright, those pages done. These ones here, I might just, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one yet, so I'm just going to trim that back. I'll just trim that back and leave. I wonder, see, these ones were a bit, they had a rose on either side and I didn't want to upset that. So maybe we can just put them in like that. Didn't want to have to choose which ones to cut off or cover up. So yeah, they're nice. So they'll go in like that. These ones here, I'm going to fold them in, I think, like this. I might just cut a little bit off the ends so that they'll and then fold it in. And I'll use that line then to hold on. That didn't fold straight, did it? No one did. And then this isn't straight. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't matter, I'll just trim that off. So these are going to open out like that, I think. Well, that one folded straight. That must have been printed wrong. So they'll just go like that in the book. And we'll do the same with this one. Alright, now all we've got left is these ones. So we'll just go ahead and fold them in half. Alright, so we've got everything trimmed down. Put some garbage in the bin. And now it's just a matter of putting all the pages together how you'd want them. So what I do is I just lay them out in their different little groups. Okay, so I just lay them on the table like that and then decide what I want as my first one, which I sort of wanted this, so and something pretty in behind that. This one. Like that. And then we just open it up. Oops, that's not the open side. And we open it up and just go from there. Alright, we've got our 2 signatures put together. So I'm just going to quickly add our gel prints in that we did in the previous video. I'm just going to put them wherever. Doesn't really matter where they go. Just add them in. Put a splash of colour in there. Go. So you can just have a fluff around with them and rearrange them, or however you feel they sit well. You know, I've made this one a middle one with this pocket, but in this one I didn't. I put it somewhere different. So yeah, just go through them, have a play with how you'd want them, and my next video I will sew them into the journal, so into the cover. So these ones here I might use as pockets and that, and other bits and pieces. So, but that's the basics of putting the signatures together. And yeah, if you're new here, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Press that bell button for notifications, and like, share, and all that type of thing. You can check it now in your journal to see if it's not going to be too fat, and that's got plenty of space in there. So it's actually quite, the cover's quite big. I wonder whether I checked that. Oh no, that's not too bad. There we go. But it's got plenty of room to grow, because I like mine to come out at least, at least that much, or probably more. So, and I haven't put a closure on this yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But I think that's good size. Once we start getting, like, if you look at other pages, what I do when I finish doing that is I'll look at all the other bits and pieces that I've got together, and if you just sit them in there as well, because some of those those pictures here are going to be backed onto card as well, which will make them thicker. So if you look at that and put that in there, then, you know, it gives you a good idea then how thick you're going to go. Pickle! I might, not sure how I'm going to do that one yet. Not sure. Anyway. Alright. So, I'll catch you for my next video, and that will be putting the signatures in, and we'll go from there. Okay, take care. Hope you stay happy and well, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.